Those of you out there in the YouTubes that may follow me on the Instagrams will probably know that several weeks ago, I posted a little teaser pic of a custom Glock I had built by Lone Wolf. Now at the time, I couldn't show you the whole gun because Lone Wolf asked me not to, because there were parts on the gun that weren't available to the general public yet. That part specifically being the compensator. The compensator was not on the market yet at the time they built me this custom gun. So I agreed not to show it right away. But now they've told me I can show it. Well, actually, I could have showed it a little while ago, but I got this new camera and I haven't been able to figure it out. Haven't been able to get video from the camera to the computer. But tonight, for the first time, I've been able to get video from the camera to the computer. Still haven't got the sound or the lighting worked out yet, but I can actually show you some video. So without any further ado, let me take a chance here to show you what I think is the coolest, if not the Tacti-Coolest, custom Glock you've ever seen. And here it is, my custom Lone Wolf Glock. And I think you'll agree, this gun looks awesome. Now, before I go any further, I want to say this is not going to be a range review. This is just going to be a general introduction to this gun. I will be doing a range review of this gun later, so keep your eyes open for that, but that is not what this is. This is just me showing you the gun, letting you get a first look at it. Now, I have had it to the range a few times, and I will have to say it is so much fun to shoot. I will get into that more in the range review, but I will also say one thing. I did have some problems with it when I first shot it. Mainly when I was filming some video to show in slow motion. Because when I film slow motion video, I like to limp wrist the guns a little bit. I want the guns to move. I want you to see the natural mechanical movement of the gun when I'm filming in slow motion. I've never thought people learn too much from seeing a gun in the hands of an expert being held completely still while they fire it. I want to see how the gun moves. I want to see how the energy is directed in that gun. So like I said, I hold them a little bit loosely when I film for slow motion. When I was holding the gun loosely or limp wristing it for the slow motion video, I was having some failure to feeds. Now, being a self-appointed internet gun expert, I had no trouble whatsoever diagnosing what the problem was. And by having no problem whatsoever, I mean when one of the gunsmiths from Lone Wolf sent me a video detailing why he thought I might be kind of special, I was able to figure out what the problem was. It turns out when you put a heavier than normal 40 to 9mm conversion barrel into a heavier 40 caliber slide with a compensator on it, and then choose to put the 40 caliber spring in it by mistake, you have some trouble when you start shooting light 9mm ammo through it. That light 9mm ammo just can't cycle all that weight. Surprise, surprise, when you put the wrong spring in, you have a problem. But we were able to get that worked out pretty quickly, and now this gun functions nicely. So I'll be showing you that in the range review, but first, I just want to show you this gun. First, let's talk about some of the things you can't see. The internals of this gun are all Lone Wolf. Everything in here is an upgraded part. Everything from the springs to the trigger bar to the trigger itself, all the internals are upgrades, and you can really tell when you shoot it. The frame is the custom Timberwolf frame made by Lone Wolf. As you can see, it's a little bit different than a Glock frame. It's got a little bit of a beaver tail here. It's got a different grip angle, interchangeable back straps, a little bit different trigger guard, just a little bit different overall, and all those changes add up to me to be a better gun than the original Glock. At least better in my hand because I like the way it feels better, and I like the way it grips better, I like the way it handles better. The sights on it are TFO X's, I believe they're called. They're a TFO sight with a little white ring around the front sight, so I think those are the TFO X. They are a combination of tritium and fiber optics, so they give you the best of both worlds, and they are my favorite sights on a carry gun. Now down here on the bottom of the grip, I have Lone Wolf's custom magwell attachment. I believe they call it a magazine guide or something like that. But this came in shiny aluminum, and I did bead blast it down to match the matte stainless. Now to me, the most important part of this isn't guiding the magazine in. It's kind of the aesthetic aspect of it that's more important to me, and I'll get into that here in a moment. Now the slide on the gun is one of the Lone Wolf custom stainless slides. It has the custom serrations, and this one is engraved with a skull pattern from Lone Wolf. They do several different patterns on the slides. This is one of my favorites. I've been wanting this since SHOT Show, so I finally ordered one. It is on both sides of the slide, left and right, and it's also on the top. So this slide looks really cool. And I don't know how well you can tell there, but it's just not like etched on. It is pretty deeply engraved. So when you run your fingers over it, you definitely feel the engraving. I really like that. And now we get to the part of the gun that makes it so different. The part that made me not able to show you this gun. The custom compensator from Lone Wolf. As you can see here, unlike most compensators, it doesn't just look like some grater attachment that you screwed onto the end of your barrel. It actually fits onto the slide. It actually matches the shapes and contour of the slide, making it look like it's part of the gun. And that is a really nice change. And as you can see, they custom engraved it to match the skulls on the slide. So this thing is really sharp. It makes this a really beautiful gun. Now, I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I can't imagine anyone that's a tactical gun guru like myself that likes Glocks that could look at this gun and not get a little bit of a tactical tint in their pants. I even kind of like the fact that they put the little Lone Wolf logo on the back here. I'm not usually a big fan of company branding, but that little logo looks so cool now on the back there that I actually like it, and I'm going to leave it there. But what really makes the looks of this gun is this compensator, the way it just blends into the barrel. Now, they make a few different designs of this that go with a few different designs of barrel, and they make them that just go on regular Glock slides. And because it blends into the slide so well, it makes it look like one big continuous piece. That's why I like this little magwell attachment so much. It adds a little weight to the bottom of the grip. It adds a little bit of length, a little bit of heaviness down here, kind of balances the gun out aesthetically, makes it look really nice. But the real star of the show is the compensator here. If you're like me and you've got your tactical guns covered and your practical guns covered and you just want something that's super cool, go over to Lone Wolf's website. I'll put a link in the description below and check out what you can build from scratch. I mean, you can have them build you a Glock from the ground up and it'll be all your own. Like right now, there's lots of Glocks out there, but there's not a lot of Glocks like this one. This is my Glock. This is a custom Glock and it looks like a custom Glock. No one else has got one like this right now. Now, I guess since you can buy the parts now, and I'm not special anymore, so everybody can have one, but for the moment, this Glock is special to me. You know, I've always been a fan of Lone Wolf. I've used their parts on Glocks before. I've built Glocks with Lone Wolf before. But this compensator, that's a whole new ballgame if you ask me. I truly think that this is one of the most innovative things that have happened to a Glock in a long time. In fact, I would say this is probably the most innovative thing to happen to Glocks since Gaston invented the handgun so long ago.